tail is twitching. Must be a sign.
Must be.
I'll go ahead.
Option. Not a big fan of camera shake. So, how do I tell which half of the city I'm in? I guess we can do that. Probably a good start. Go ahead and refresh this page real quick.
I know the way.
Hey, Sean, there's filth on the floor. Be good, like clean it up. The dwarf resembles an abandoned citadel, one whose high, crumbling walls are still holding fast, but whose empty, lightless windows make it clear that all inside are dead. Oh, it's you. Good work back there at the Grey Garrison. Name's Staunton Vane. If you've heard rumors about me, his face, which looks like it's never known anything, it's a carefree smile grimaces. Just so you know, everything people say about me, it's true. I need to talk to the elf who calls himself the Storyteller. Do you know where I can find him? The Storyteller? Sutton strokes his beard and thought, strange old fellow. That one. He used to sit with me for hours, asking about all sorts of things. He never offered judgment or comfort. He just listened. At first I wanted him and his questions to go far away from me as possible, but later I realized that talking to him did ease my burden a little. I hope he's alive though and well, completely blind and feeble too, so if he's alone in the city, you probably know what that means. I do know one place he might be, Look for him in Blackwing. It's a library. Here, I'll show you on the map. I don't know what use the library is to a blind elf, but he loved the place. He would just sit there day and night. What do people say about you? They say I'm a traitor, as bad as Arlu Vorlesh, that I'm a disgrace, even among the ranks of the condemned, that Queen Galfrey never should have spared me, that I belong in the gallows. The condemned is a military unit made up of petty criminals and conscripts as disposable soldiers and as frontline fodder in medieval crusades. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. I'm gonna take a second and order some food though, because it's already almost 1 o'clock and I haven't eaten. And I'm hungry. So we're gonna do that real quick. It'll be just a second. Shit, I gotta order some more food. Does that get me there? Are we good? Alright, food is ordered. Back to it. Why do they hate you so much? You really don't know. Staunton gives you a long, morose look in the eyes. I'm the reason why the Crusade forces are holed up in a fortress on the edge of the world wound instead of bringing the fight to the demons. We used to have a foothold in the wound, the mighty, unassailable city of Dresden. We used to have it until it fell. All because of my stupidity, I gave our enemy our main citadel. I was tried. They wanted to execute me, and rightly so, but the Queen intervened. She said I should live and fight for order to undo what I had done. So that's how I live, decade after decade, fighting in the condemned. The dwarf shrugs. As you can see, I have fixed nothing. I have earned no one's forgiveness. Are you going to spit in my face too? That wouldn't surprise me. Lawful, you keep living and fighting with no hope of anything better because that's the Queen that ordered you to do. There's honor in that. You may be right, but what would you know? Even stone and iron get worn down over time. I know what it means to live a regimented life, but I cannot rely on my discipline alone forever. I pray to Torag, though he does not listen. My body breaks before my conscience does. A whole city fell because of you? How is that possible? What do you mean, how? The knight glares at you from beneath his furrowed brow. If you don't trust the word of a condemned, go ask somebody else, like my little brother Joran. And if you still don't believe it, what is it to me? But if you're about to recount every story of my disgrace for the thousandth time, don't. So many years in the condemned, surely you must have paid your penance by now. That is not up to me to decide. My life is in the Queen's hands. He falls silent for a moment, and then in a trembling voice adds, the condemned isn't the worst part. All the years I have prayed to Torag for forgiveness, countless times I've gone to his priest, countless times I've knelt before his altar. If only the Father of Dwarvenkind would answer my prayers, just once, not to restore what was lost, but just to tell me that I am still one of his children. But it seems he doesn't give a damn for me. What can I expect from mere mortals when my own God doesn't think I deserve reception? I've seen how the other soldiers treat you. What about it? Guilty or not, they have no right to treat you that way. What right does a traitor have? Sutton shrugs indifferently. I gotta go. Go on then. Maybe we'll see each other again. Where's our blacksmith boy at? Are you Staunton Vane's brother? Yep, where he goes, I go. That's how we always done it, even before the World War. I forge the armor, and he goes into battle and breaks it. He brings it back to me, I repair it, and make it better than before. Everything's changed since then, of course, but that part's always stayed the same. How was Staunton to blame for the fall of Dresden? I've told the story so many times already. Well, telling it one more won't kill me. The blacksmith's eyes. Dresden was built after the First Crusade, back when it seemed like victory was ours for the taking and the demon invasion would soon be at an end. The population of Old Sarcosis was thoroughly diminished, and many of them hoped to see their hard fighting repaid with a small plot of unclaimed land. Dresden Fortress was built on all our hopes, and on Mendev's ambitions, though you're not supposed to say that out loud. Sarcosis being The lost Keliad realm of Sarcosis was a savage land of fiercely painted warriors, shamans, and druids established in 3672. A few years before the prophesied return of Aradin, stirrings of the demonic cults began there. Sarcosis' strange mystics made grim predictions of the nation's fall, however, and the people were mostly confident on Aradin's return would directly lead to the final days of these cults. Unfortunately, the mystics were proven correct. The death of Aradin in 4606 saw the appearance of the World Wound, a gaping gateway to the abyss in the heart of Sarcosis. The nearby city of Iz was the first to fall to demonic forces. At first, it seemed like there was still a chance to stop the invasion, but in 4638, the World Wound abruptly expanded. The rest of the clan hold soon fell. The very land became warped and twisted, with demons continuing to spew forth from the World Wound. The Church of Eomade declared that Medieval crusades in order to drive back the demons. However, whilst they have been somewhat successful in containing the threat, Sarcosis itself remains firmly under demonic control. Joravane. What a city it was, Eon. You can't even imagine. It was built by the finest engineers from Five Kings Mountains. Queen Galfrey spared no expense. Dresden was meant to be the capital of the Crusade movement, a monument to its glory and a beacon of hope for all Galorian. Heroes were drawn here to seek fame and glory, and they came from all over. Taldor, Garun, Jianza. I couldn't list them all, but a relic known as the Sword of Valor was kept there, the banner that had been carried into battle by Eomide herself back when she was still human. The banner protected the city and kept the demons from teleporting inside its walls. As long as the banner was in its place, Dresden was invincible, or so we thought. But then the World Wound suddenly expanded. The demons launched a new onslaught, and folk started saying it was time to declare a second crusade. Dresden was unassailable, until one young officer was tempted by a beautiful woman. She convinced him that the banner shouldn't be hanging in the city, that its rightful place is on the battlefield. She whispered honey words about glory and valor, and convinced him that he could be a hero as great as Eomade herself, and the poor fool believed her. He rounded up some of his hot-headed friends and carried the banner outside of the gates on an unauthorized way. The demons slaughtered them within seconds, but for some reason the courageous ringleader was spared. A whole army teleported into Dresden. It was a bloodbath. Durin solemnly shakes his head. As you can guess, that officer was called Staunton Vane, and the woman who turned out to be a demon. Not just any demon, but it was Minago, the foul wretch. She'd given us a lot of grief here in Canibris, too. Don't ask me what I was doing while my brother was off having trysts with the beast. I don't know why I didn't save him from his own stupidity. The blacksmith gestures as if to ward off the inevitable reparation. Who could have guessed it would end like this? I failed my brother, that's the truth. I blame myself every day looking at his plight. So that's the story. I gotta go. Triag, watch over you. If you need anything from me, don't be afraid to stop by.
Follow my lead.
Execution. So apparently there is a place to cross in the market square. I just haven't found it yet.
appreciate this.
We do, thank you.
As it should be.
I don't think there's anything in this house, but we'll check again. Yeah, nothing we missed. Hey, thanks for the follow. Ava can play. I'm doing pretty good, man. Just playing Pathfinder, man. It's been a good game so far. How you doing? Oh, well, welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy it.
I'll go ahead. I know the way.
I'm told that somewhere around here there's a way to get across this cliff. And I think I might have just found it. Build a bridge out of
It is
debris.
finished.
I missed that the last like 3 times we ran through here.
A trivial matter.
They will break against our resolve.
Yeah, it's like 3 cubes. We got this.
Let's try this way. This will hurt.
Do not fear. Do not waver.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I'd definitely look at it.
Follow my lead.
Is that a trap? It might be a trap.
Yeah, when I'm done with the stream, I'll PM you my info and we can look at some stuff. Rebeldom the actor. Even a huge pile of junk isn't enough to block out the exclamations coming from beneath it. Reveal, O dearest darling beauty of mine, why didst thou turn thy gaze on me, pray tell? Thy husband I called friend a time, but 'tis like an ocean of friendship, ah well. Hey man, thanks you for the offer, and thanks again for the follow. Kema Soundmaster. But Willis, how are we to live, my sweet? Booms a deep masculine voice in response from the beneath the same pile. Indistinct rustling follows. Pass me ale, will you? Move the pile of junk. The pile shifts easily, revealing the entrance to some kind of cellar. There is an interesting looking chest among the items. Kim, the Soundmaster. Look, the door is open, and now we are completely at the mercy of whatever's up there, if it really is a demon. Grandma Gretlin, the director. We have nothing to fear. We have the power of inspiration, after all. But hand me my ladle and get that rolling pin. Oh, this is weird. Grandma Gretlin, the director. Now look, it's not a demon at all. Greetings, kind friend and rescuer. I am Grandma Gretlin, theater director, and these are the members of my company. Rubble Dumb, the actor. Granny, it's not a ladle. It's one of those props from the Malevolent Lich performance, the one Tiana made. It's a scepter or something. She made it out of my ladle. She wanted to use a broom handle, but I put paid to that daft idea, the dwarf says with dignity. Ember, oh, I've seen your show. You are very funny, especially your play where the woman climbs slowly into the chair while singing and then falls off again. Ember claps her hands in delight. Grandma Gretlin, the director. Well, that is actually a great tragedy about unrequited love. The chair you see, it represents a tower of a rock rising above a raging sea like a finger of a giant. And the woman, she isn't supposed to fall, but rather gracefully cascade into the swirling abyss below, just like how I showed her 100 times. But I'm glad you liked it. What were you doing down there? Grandma Gretlin, the director. We were rehearsing. Our arts distract us from our fear and panic. The dwarf waves her ladle empathically, doing a fair impression of a conductor. Really? When I'm scared, I eat. We tried that too, but our supplies ran out. But art is eternal. Can you get somewhere safe? Oh, don't worry on our account. We'll be going into our basement in the next street where the Lambikin is. We're not afraid of demons with Lambikin around. Lambikin? Lambikin, the dwarf says readily. Our male lead. He'll protect us. Don't worry. We know what we're doing. I gotta go. Thank you again for rescuing us, stranger. Today you did a great service for Medievan culture. Perhaps even the culture of all of Galorian. You will certainly be remembered in the future eras as the one who saved the critically and publicly acclaimed The Next Door Theater. Yes, worship them, Sela.
Can we retreat already?
What we got on ghouls? Ghoul fever? Whatever, fuck them up.
A calculated risk. Left yourself open.
Yeah, boy, you left yourself open.
Surrender or else.
So we gotta get rid of this guy's thing. So, he'll take 1d3 damage per day until we get that cured. It's a charisma base save. How's this guy's
Me?
charisma actually? I mean, he's only got a roll of 3 twice. That shouldn't be that fucking hard.
As it should be. Enemy approaching.
What the fuck? Chaotic evil half-elf shadow. Fuck him up. don't know what the fuck that sound was, but that don't sound good. I mean, there'd be more zombies.
That is not far.
It's not far. So sweet it is to kill. Dude, these guys just lost to the bat thing at the start of Conan Exiles. That explains the ghouls, though. Fuck them up.
No mistakes.
My character's AI is just standing
We
around
will
drooling
win
if I don't
this
personally
war.
control him.
This was simple enough.
Oh, that worked.
I won't let you hurt my friends.
This should do it. Let's try this way. I'll go ahead.
Religion.
I think I did it.
The Jacob graves and other clues indicate that a necromancer has recently conducted a ritual here. You having fun, buddy?
Can't hide from me.
Grave robbing, classic.
I know the way.
I did it.
Gray hair, ashen skin, this person fell prey to a Nabasu. This demon sucks the very life essence from its victims and transforms them into ghouls. Carl. Curl, a short, hooded figure, is poking about some bodies in the middle of the street. A stranger drags the first body off the road, respectfully props it up against the wall, and places the corpse's hand on its chest. The figure then freezes, as if hesitating. You see him reach his hand out towards the beautiful gold amulet hanging around the corpse's neck. He jerks his hand back and hesitates and reaches out again. Well, look what we have here. Looting corpses, are we? What did you expect? Almost everyone is dead. The city now belongs to demons, and the vermin, rats, crows, and creatures like this one. Curl. The stranger almost jumps out of his skin. His hood falls off from his head. A mop of red curls on a round halfling face looks up at you. Oh, phew, I thought you were demons. Good day to you, sir. Sela's eyebrows lift in apparent surprise. Curl? Is that you? The halfling looks at Sela and smiles broadly. Oh, Lady Sela, you're alive. Goodness me, that is the second bit of good news on an otherwise lousy day. What was the first bit of good news? Stick around and see for yourself. Do you know this person, Sela? Meet Rimvi, better known as Curl. He hails from Canibris and fights in the Condemned. He's one of the kind rogue. He's a one-of-a-kind rogue with a heart of gold. Sela smiles and then adds a bit more seriously. Curl's probably none of my business, but you should ask yourself what you're doing is right.